In today's top news, the press conferences between Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury is filled with trash talk. Oh, the trash talk. The WBC has sent out their list of mandatory challenges for their current champions. And lastly, it is fight week for DAZN, as they are airing 2 events for this weekend. So, let's get back to the news. The unification fight with Claressa Shields and Christina Hammer is postponed until possibly March. Hammer will have to withdraw due to illness, but the 2-time Olympic gold medalist Claressa Shields says she will continue to fight for the November 17th date against an opponent that has not been named yet. Jeff Horn is starting his comeback trail after his one-sided loss against Terence Crawford back in June. He is slated to face fellow Aussie Anthony Mundane at a catch weight of 71 kilograms, which is 156.5 pounds, for November 30th. Yuriorkis Gamboa and Juan Manuel Lopez are slated to fight in November 10th, but not each other. They are fighting on the same card, but if they both win their fights, then they are more than likely to fight each other in the future. These two seem to be in a collision course 8 years ago, but Salido derailed Juanma, and in 2014, Gamboa was stopped by Crawford. It will be an interesting match if it does happen, but it seems like the winner of those two, if they were to fight each other, thinks that they will be in line to face Lomachenko. Maybe. Miguel Berchelt will be back in action for the 3rd time this year against Miguel Roman in a fight that both men actually demanded. Be sure to check it out because it does seem like it will be one of those classic Mexican-style championship fights. So keep an eye out for it. Demetrius Andrade is still waiting to hear whether or not he'll be facing Billy Joe Saunders, but regardless of the decision, he'll still be fighting on October 20th. The possible replacement would be Namibia's undefeated Walter Tukondokwa.
Because that is not how you say my name.
But Frank Warren feels that there's no reason why Saunders shouldn't be allowed to fight. And this week is fight week for DAZN, as they are airing 2 events for this weekend. First event will be on Saturday night, featuring Jesse Vargas versus Thomas Delorme in a WBC silver belt, which means the winner of that fight could be in line to face Sean Porter. But they wouldn't necessarily be first in line, as there's still Keith Thurman, who vacated the title due to injury, and as well as the mandatory challengers Andre Berto and Yordenis Ugas. This card does include actual championships on the line, as WBA Super Bantamweight Daniel Roman defends against UK's Gavin McDonnell, and Montreal-based IBF light heavyweight champ Artur Beterbiev defends his title for the first time against UK's Callum Johnson. And some heavyweight action will also be featured in the card, as Jerome Miller is facing former light heavyweight champion and cruiserweight champion Thomas Adamek. So if you're willing to wake up early the next morning on Sunday, you can catch DAZN's second event, which features Japan's WBA Bantam regular champion Naoya Inoue, who is defending his title against Juan Carlos Payanos as part of a quarterfinals of the World Boxing Super Series Bantamweight tournament. In the co-main event, we'll see the World Boxing Super Series 140 pounds tournament beginning with WBA champion Kirill Relik take on former IBF champion Edward Troyanovsky. These names. Also in the card, WBC champion Ken Shiro will defend his title against former champion Milan Melendo. So set your alarm for that one, or just don't sleep the night before, so you can catch it. Make a game out of it. During the WBC convention held in Kiev, Ukraine, the WBC has sent out their list of mandatory fights for their current champions. Some interesting ones include Jamel Charlo versus Triple G, Sean Porter versus Keith Thurman, Gary Russell versus Leo Santa Cruz, Jorge Linares versus Adrian Broner, Mikey Garcia versus Luke Campbell, Anthony Durrell versus Avni Yildirim, and Julian Williams versus Erislandis Lara. It would be great to see all these fights happen, but I feel that there's a cloud of doubt in my mind. And in top news, this week we saw all the press conferences between Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury. The one that really sticks out for me is the trash talk going on. It can be very creative. Here are some of the fun ones. And that's it for this week's boxing news and rumors. Catch you next time.